probably like my white whale of epic collections and even comics in general. It's X-Men Epic Collection Volume 6 Proteus, and I'm going to do an overview of it. I've read it, and I'm going to do a little overview how good it is for the fact that it's out of print, it's really high price, and no one can ever find it. Here's the side, here's the back. This is issue to 128. Let me go check. I believe it is here in the back. Bro, these trade paperbacks, bro, I swear, should be in this issue here, actually. Yep, here, issue to 128. I was right. Okay, so let's go to the start of this book. So, this book starts off with X-Men 111. No, Incredible Hulk Annual. So basically, it's just Iceman and the Angel. They get called up to basically by this guy who calls Master Mold, who's actually the person in Epic Collection Volume 5 who gets the Sentinels reinstated, and then he transforms into a Sentinel through strange and weird means, where he dies and becomes a Sentinel. It's a good story, but now X-Men 111 is good. It's basically the X-Men turn into circus freaks, and the Beast, who hasn't seen them before, come back and just go like, oh, I've heard of these. Why are they doing this? Aren't they supposed to be the X-Men? What about Jean? And they've all been hypnotized with Wolverine, because, of course, Wolverine can't get hypnotized. So, Mesmero is the guy, and the X-Men then, Wolverine gets out and then tries to get the X-Men, frees them. Turns out Mesmero got taken out by Magneto. Magneto is back, and if you've read Epic Collection Volume 5, you know that Magneto got, they ran away from him, so that couldn't fight him. And everyone took a retreat, and we didn't hear of Magneto ever again, until he comes back. And he has a plan, where he ends up taking everyone into his secret under Antarctica volcano base. How original. And he has several all over the world. It's dumb fun, and you know what, just let him have it at that point. And then turns out they're all trapped for some James Bond type beat, where like they're all trapped and they get treated like babies since they turned Magneto into a baby, or at least into a baby body. And it turns out Storm has, since she used to be a thief, she has hair thing, like lockpicks in her hairband, and she gets those out. And John Byrne is, what was he thinking with this panel? I don't know. He was, I don't know, man. And she ends up crying, like, oh no, I can't get out. Wait, I can get out. Then they get out, and we fight Magneto. Where the biggest part of this book is, where most of this book happens, is basically the X-Men get split up into two groups. Beast and Jean, who survive. And they're trying to, get back. They're like, no, they died. No. The X-Men didn't die. They went under, and now they're in the Savage Land, which I guess is a place that got introduced earlier. I haven't read the Silver Age stuff, so I don't even know. But yeah, it's a good place so far, but then they realize that there's something wrong, and they talk, Storm and Cyclops are like, I don't feel anything for Jean's passing. I don't feel like grief, but I grieve for Hank, the Beast. And then she's like, maybe you didn't love her as much as you thought you did. And it's like, damn, Storm, you really had to go after him. And she's like, I don't know if I did the right thing by doing that. And then John Byrne again with the depiction of Storm. Okay, then we're back at it with X-Men 115, where it's Sauron comes back, who used to be a dead person, and now he's back alive, so it's a shock to everybody. And so basically it ends with Sauron's not a bad guy, he's actually just, he got possessed, and he wants to stop this other evil guy from destroying the Savage Land. So the X-Men's next goal is to help out the Savage Land and to heal them and destroy this evil person who's trying to ruin this place for individuals who are outcasts. So we gotta destroy him. So Colossus helps out, so does Storm, and ends up beating him. And then we get a little flashback scene to when Xavier, well, first of all, they end up going into the water outside of the Savage Land. But then there's a little flashback here with Xavier about, like, did he meet Storm? And then his first, I guess, psychic battle with someone where he lost but ended up winning. It was, I don't know, it was cool, I guess. And then we got a scene with Jean being like, oh, I guess I have to leave. And she leaves. So the X-Men are in Japan now, and there is a massive earthquake going on caused by the earthquake master. And they said, if you don't give me all of Japan, I'm sinking the whole place. So the X-Men decide to fight. Something happens to Banshee that puts him out of commission for a while. But rest assured, he's now gone from the X-Men. As of what I'm reading now in UXM Volume 2 Omnibus, I'm on like issue 142, 141, the Days of Future Past storyline. And yeah, he's so far gone. And so he's pretty much useless to the team right now, hanging out with the girls of the X-Men. And they end up getting jumped by Vindicator, aka a member of the new formed Alpha Flight. So Alpha Flight versus X-Men. Meanwhile, Charles Xavier ran off to outer space to deal with the grief of losing his fellow X-Men. So this is just a story with how they got back to Xavier's mansion, how they dealt with the Alpha Flight, and how they are the better team. Then they come back to the Xavier mansion, and they immediately get back to training. There's no rest for the wicked, I guess. And then Storm's out here trying to solve an issue with, like, kids. It's like she visits a town and then she tries to help out, and it turns out the people there are not very nice. Black Tom's Cassidy and the Juggernaut are there making plans with Arcade, and I think he appeared with Spider-Man in another Marvel team-up issue, but I don't know. I didn't read it. I'm reading X-Men right now. So there's a little crossover with Marvel team-up and X-Men where, like, Peter gets, like, it's a little bit weird because, like, right, so Colossus has doubts of being an X-Men. He misses his homeland, Russia. And so a Russian psychologist, like, tricks him into thinking that he has betrayed his country and he needs to help. And this is a Spider-Man team-up with Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler being my favourite X-Men. This is a very fun issue. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was fun seeing Spider-Man's quips with Nightcrawler and how they solved everything. Though this is split up in, like, page like 1 to 14 is by a different person, page 15 to 27 is by a different person. It's pretty strange. So this just leads off with them going, you're not so bad yourself. Yeah. And then we have X-Men Annual number 3, my bad. And this is some fella named Archon, an Avengers villain. Turns out he's actually a good guy. The X-Men don't know. Have a little fight with him. They kidnap Storm. Storm's apparently just trying to help out, but they can't talk to the X-Men right now. So they fight through it, trying to heal Archon's world from perpetual darkness with perpetual light. And Storm lives. This annual was like, I don't know, didn't leave a good opinion on me. I don't really care for it, you know. This is a really good issue. It's basically, for the past while Jean has been away, a fella named Jason Wingard has been invading her mind in certain panels, transporting her to a different realm of reality, and trying to fit her into, like, how she's in love with him and all this. And with her powers going more and more up, it's because Jason is, like, unlocking the restraints to her power to the Dark Phoenix. And so when Jason is doing this report with her, trying to unlock her brain, kind of, Proteus escapes Mutant X, which is Moira McTaggart's son. This comes as a shock, and the Multi-Man gets possessed, one of his bodies. Here's Jason Wingard here, trying to manipulate Jean even more, which is working, sadly. And we'll see the culmination of that in Omnibus 2 if you have it, or in Epic Collection Volume 7. And so this is the Proteus arc, which is the Proteus saga, which is amazing. It's like slowly and internally with like character drama with Wolverine and Cyclops, and then we have a big battle with Colossus and Proteus, which culminates in Colossus killing for the first time. Well, at least killing in anger for the first time. Not even anger, because I think it's just killing in general, because I think the first time he kills in anger is in Mutant Massacre. Spoiler, but that comic's like ages old. But yeah, this is a very good saga, and as goddamn that artwork is amazing. Chris Claremont obviously doing really well on the character descriptions. Let's check out the extras. So there's not that much compared to Epic Collection Volume 5. That had a lot of extras. This is just like some snippets, some covers from different places, and then like I guess full page sprints of there's this, but then you can't really read that, so it's just that and then reading down here. So it's like, I don't know. In Volume 5, there's literally an entire article based on like the X-Men's cancellation, rise, and now fame, and then there of course is the Marvel Masterworks here. So this Epic Collection retails for €50. You will not find it for €50. I found it for 45 on my LCS. You might as well, but in Subcity, at least Subcity Comics in Dublin, it's gone. I took the last one. Unless they reprint it anytime soon, which, you know, I hope for you all that you get this reprinted, because this is peak Claremont and John Byrne. Maybe this might be better than my Omnibus Volume 2, just because I don't know why I love this story. These are probably my favourite X-Men stories, from like 114 to 128 is my favourite. You know, the Magneto stuff is good, so maybe 113, 112 to 111 was like, it was good, it was a good story, I'm not complaining about it, but it was like, it was alright. It was a passable story about how they got, like, I guess, mind washed. But this creates a full arc. The only thing I'd say is really filler is this. Introducing Master Mold was good, but I don't know, maybe you could have done an excerpt of only the parts of with the X-Men in it. And the Marvel team up with Nightcrawler. I love Nightcrawler, but I did not care for what was going on. It was a sequel to the arcade storyline, and the arcade storyline was good. I liked it. It was a two-parter, nice and short, 48 pages, lovely. And then we have another team up against Arcade. I'm like, I don't care about him. He was a two-parter. Why are you making another 30-page long story arc about him and just how he got bet? He already got bet. Why is he coming back? It's really filler. But besides that, it's straight action through to the end. This is an amazing collection filled with some of my favourite stories. Maybe the X-Men Annual is a little bit of a bummer if you're not that into like Archon or have read the Avengers issue, I guess. But it's an alright story that you won't complain about, at least. Maybe I'm just being a hypocrite or a pessimist. But later on, this story kicks off with Proteus and the reunion of the X-Men who were proclaimed dead with Beast was such a wholesome moment, and then filled with tragedy as Proteus escapes and Moira McTaggart has to deal with the consequences of that and almost kills her own son. It is a crazy story. Yeah, this is a short book. This is only like 400 something pages, but it packs a punch. I'd recommend you read this, by the way. So that is my overview review guide on if you should pick this up. I liked it. I hope you too. Have a good day. Goodbye. I don't know what to do for an outro, bro.